Greetings, Ani, Bosho, Kwekwe, Tansi, Scano, and hello. It's Catherine and Brian from Moonstarlodge in South Central Ontario with a weekly reading for the collective. We've been doing this now 6.5 or 7 years on a weekly basis with the occasional extra reading thrown in. We are First Nations and we bring that perspective into it, and I'm trained in both parapsychology, psychology, and was a licensed spiritualist minister with all that mediumship training. I'm now a licensed minister transferring to my Indigenous traditions through us here at Moonstarlodge. So after studying tarot and collecting tarot since 1972, I have nearly 1,900 decks and about 200 reference manuals that have taken me almost my entire life to accumulate, and I'm agog with all things in the paranormal, parapsychological bag of goodies to use. But cartomancy is a love because in my psych training it relates to Jungian archetypes, and if you're a fan of Carolyn Mace or Carl Jung or others in this work, you know that many psychologists, therapists, healers use tarot as a way to help an individual understand the internal workings they're going through. It's less about prediction and more about a prescription to awareness. Anyway, with that being said, I am very restless today, extremely restless. Why would I pick this day to channel for the collective? I'm restless because of the midwinter energies. We're in a Scorpio full moon. My partner is a Scorpio and I'm a Pisces. So this is like nails on chalkboard kind of day for me. I was feeling a little bit Dame Edna earlier, and I was going to come on and say hello to the possums, but no, Dame Edna's got to wait till another video. When I sit with this, let's call it agitation, because this reading is for the 19th to the 25th, we are in our first full day of the second moon cycle, which comes in, actually, the second moon cycle comes in January 18th at 2:51 p.m. So that's Wisdom Keeper, and I'm going to talk about Wisdom Keeper in a minute. We're moving out of talks with relations, and this is the first full day of Wisdom Keeper. Tomorrow, the 20th, will be the first day of Aquarius. So we're really moving into very analytical, no-nonsense month between Wisdom Keeper and the Aquarius traits. But let me read you Wisdom Keeper. She is the protectress of sacred traditions, the keeper of the stone libraries and earth history, the guardians of remembering and the art of memory, the mother of friendship, planetary unity, and mutual understanding. She teaches us the arts of self-development and expansion, how to access planetary memory, personal recall, and ancient wisdom and knowledge, how to understand the wisdom that every life form holds and its missions, how to be a friend and to restore friendship by honoring the viewpoints of all life forms. She teaches us how to honor the truth. So that's our dear grandmother for this month, and that's really important. So back to feeling agitated and energy, like almost like energy stuck, like when my cat goes "Zzz," and leaps about the house like it's been electrocuted. This is not energy stuck. When I sat and thought about it, I got that we think that wintertime things are dead or asleep, like the bears are hibernating and the squirrels are hibernating and Turtle Mother Earth is asleep. But really, she's only frozen for the first 3 or 4 feet. Everything underneath that is very alive and very functional and preparing. As we come to this time of Imbolc, which is going to be covered in the next reading. So we're moving toward midwinter, that point between winter solstice and spring equinox. Lie down, Ode, lie down. My dog is agitated too. So we're coming to this point where people feel a great deal of midwinter blahs, that maybe even a sense of sadness or depression. Yes, we're getting the light returning, but it's not returning fast enough for most of us. But I am reminded in my energy schism here today that things are very much awake and very much in preparation. And I am reminded that, my ancestors would begin tobacco seeds indoors after the full moon in February. I mean, this is not that far away to be thinking about spring and the re-emergence of stuff. So the point is, just because we don't see the daffodils doesn't mean that their roots aren't down there preparing them and pulling in nutrients from the part of the earth that isn't frozen. That may not be my best analogy. The trees run deeply, but it's tree energy that called me today. It's animal energy, specifically the crows. We have a lot of crows who nest in our space, and right now I think they're across the road living in our neighbor's barn. But today Spirit wanted me to get crystal energy. I rarely bring crystals into these readings, but I've got crystal cards, I've got animal cards, I've got crow, I've got trees, ancestor cards, and just generally speaking, the land, as well as a deck about Imbolc. So I'm going to go ahead and give you this reading. It's wild. It's like the fiery wildness of standing in the middle of the storm. I think too, before I start the reading, I've been in a wheelchair for 10 years. Most often I can go into my wisdom space, which is in my head, and be okay with what's happening with me, and the rheumatoid arthritis and the severe osteoarthritis and the deformed legs and all of that stuff. But certain times, like today, I miss the freedom that I had to be outside and to go and stand with the trees and commune with the trees. And I can't even go out in my backyard. I can't go past the front porch. It's very limiting in the wheelchair. Most of the time I can be mature about it and rise above it. But days when the energy is wild like this, I just want to run. I just want to run, and I can't. So I'm going to channel that kind of wild spirit into this reading today. And I wasn't feeling very well. RA's got its hold today. It's winning. So RA1, Cath 0. But I'm not going to let it win. I'm going to take that energy and put it into this reading. This is late in the day for us to be doing this. Brian wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this. I am expecting a phone call, so if the phone rings, that happens. Anyway, let's go to the cards, Brian. So for the week of the 19th to the 25th, this is our spread. This is the Landscape Tarot. And then the rest of the cards here, the clarifiers, come from all the other decks of the types that I mentioned. The significator card is the Star. With the energies such as they are and feeling kind of meh for many of us, sick of the winter and sick of the snow and sick of the cold, sick of the mess, it's the ancestors are the stars, and they are there. They are always there, even when it's cloudy and we can't see them. Even when it's daylight, the stars are still there. The ancestors are still there. We are reminded of the hope and the light in the night. We are reminding of how they cascade in and out. We are reminded that this card represents healing. So there's something that needs healing, and if it's our spirits need some healing right now because of the meh and the doldrums, the ancestors are asking us in their way to not let that take hold, not let that win. This grandmother, Wisdom Keeper, is about, she is the ally of the planetary light beings. In our culture, the planets shapeshift into human form and can visit the earth. So the stars and the planets are there. They are there. They are accessible. We just can't cut off communication from our end and sit in our darkness. It's clarified by this card, the Tomb. The Tomb is telling us that in order to connect and reconnect with this healing and intuition and the guidance, the light that the ancestor stars are providing to guide us, we have to bury something that no longer serves. And we are intended to do so with reverence. The tomb is ancient. It's surrounded by the stone people. The stone people remember. They remember who we are. They are the libraries. And she is also this grandmother, Wisdom Keeper, the keeper of the stone and crystal libraries. So we let go what's not serving us anymore so that we can rise. We let go what's holding us down, weighting us down at so many levels. It's followed by the moon. And the moon is intuition. It's about not falling into escapism, but it's very much about allowing that light as well in its own way. This grandmother wants to light our way. She is this moon. I have another ancestor card here, which I always have one. Usually it's this deck. Sometimes it isn't. And this is the Judgment card. So far we have 3 major arcana cards in a row. I don't think there's any others. No. But this is the Judgment card. And we are the judges of what is going to resurrect us emotionally, energetically, and help us to rise into our wisdom, to rise into what is the best path that we need to follow. Don't let anybody else judge. We are the judges of what needs to be let go with reverence, thanked, and honored with ritual, and we are the judges of what to follow from these ancestors speaking to us. The next card here is the High Priestess. So we have the one who alchemizes. She sees through everything. She, again, here's this, I'm assuming it's the moon because of the clouds. It might be the sun, I don't know. But we've got stars, moons, and suns. So the planetary light beings are here in full force. Her card is the moon, so it's still with the moon. She is about Gnostic consciousness. Let me put it that way. She is about knowing when and all and how, and she is the keeper of deep ancient knowledge, and she is us. We need to take on the archetypal aspects of the High Priestess at this time. I pulled from the Crow, the Urban Crow Oracle, because she is a shaman. The High Priestess is, as we would call, a shaman. And they shapeshift. They are the call of the shaman in the southwest of the wheel. And this card represents nature. Being in nature, acknowledging nature, knowing that nature has every resource we could ever possibly need and a whole lot of energy. To be out in nature is to absorb and commune and become one with. So the gift of the shamanic crow here, or raven, is this call to listen to our shamanic selfhood. And the best way to do that is in nature. Yeah, it sucks to have wet, snowy feet, and it sucks sometimes to go out, but maybe if all you do is go out and cross-country ski or take a walk to the mailbox, it's enough. It will be enough. Just connect. Just touch the trees on your path. The trees are really big this week. So we're getting into the middle of the reading here, and we have the Two of Wands. So this relates back here to the Tomb card, which is a 20, which reduces to 2. Twos are always about balance. Balancing things, juggling things, giving equal weight to both sides of a decision, making sure the animus and anima, the male and female, the yin and yang of self are in balance. And the point of balance is peace. So this card is about finding peace with a decision. It's making a decision. That decision will come when we lay down that which no longer serves. That's the peace of the entombment of this past thing that no longer serves. And it feels to me like a carryover probably from 2025 and well before that. So I've heard discussions that not everybody feels that the joy of the new year, that 2026 is full of hope and promise. Some people are talking that way, but a lot more seem to be talking that it isn't full of the hope and promise because of situations in the world that I won't get into. But helping us to make the decisions. We can't change the world till we change ourselves, change us. It just takes me to light my candle, my internal flame, for the rest of that flame energy to pass to others. So what they're suggesting here, and this is from the Imbolc deck, the Midwinter deck, just a moment. This is called candle dressing. So the way to get to the peace of the decision that has to be made about the new direction, and this is Wands, so this is fire in the belly, this is picking something that's a new form of our life, that's spiritually and fire infused, is sharp as nails, engraving my will, intention, spoken declaration, what will be. It's candle rituals. The thing we need the most in midwinter are candles and light. So they're saying, help yourself to make your decision quickly by doing candle rituals. And we're not waiting to Imbolc, we're doing them now in this week. So moving to the next, we have the 3, of Pentacles, which is a message that we are not alone in this. We are going to be doing this work with others, and it's not grunt work. It's a collective work. We know that trees speak to each other, not just from the above, but below. So there's a depth to this connectivity, this working together. And if we do this, if we start building our new life, our new choices in this direction, we get the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles, as we all know, is life fulfilled. We have everything we need, everything we could want in the material. We have time, we have legacy, we are building enough not just for ourselves or our immediate family, but for the community and collectively. So this is very clear and direct messages here about how to make, and Spirit is making it easy for us to do this work. We move next to the Four of Wands. Oh, that's creepy. 2, 3, sorry. Yeah, the Four of Wands. So we have the 2 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, and by doing all of this, we will be successful. This is joyful marriage, joyful integration, joyful, a marriage in a broad sense of the word. This is celebration. We do the work, we get to celebrate. It's that way. You can't eat cake until you bake the cake. Do the work. And it's clarified here by Dragon. This is from the KimKrans deck, and this has a circle because this is a spirit being. It's an etheric being. This is beginnings. This is the birth from the cosmic egg. Everything I've talked about here is karmic in nature, and it goes beyond our karma. It's going to influence those around us and the world in ways that we may never ever know. But we need to be wise like the dragon and know that that's what we have built. And finally, we have the Page of Wands. Wands, fire, page, communication, looking with new eyes at the messages from Spirit that are coming. And the message that I just heard, now, I think this was an ancestor speaking to me because it was a female voice saying that it is as of this point toward the end of this week, the 25th, that we will find that we feel like there is joy in the new year for those who don't. And it's clarified by this crystal that wishes to be part of our celebrations. It's anandalite. And anandalite, I don't have any and I didn't know about it, which is odd because I know a lot of crystals. Anandalite gently facilitates integration and releases emotional blockages standing in the way of spiritual awakening. It reminds us that consciousness is omniscient and omnipresent, seeing all, knowing all, etc. Immerse yourself in the mystical interconnectedness that is cosmic consciousness. So this crystalline energy brings self-understanding, divination, capacities, healing insight, and it's a very high frequency. Does this mean that you have to run out to the store and try and find anandalite? No. You connect with it in your thoughts and prayers and meditations. Connect with the vibration because it permeates the omniscient fields around us. So we had to make a cut in the video, and that's kind of an auspicious thing because I'm back not just to give thanks as I do every week or every time we do a video, thanking you all for your support because I can't ever say that enough. But it is coming up, this grandmother, wisdom keeper, and so I'm going to pull a collective card for everyone. So this is our wisdom keeper grandmother card. So this is for Gina and Heather and Bessie and Cindy and Coach and Chuckles. Dean. Well, that's Chuckles. Anyway. Everybody, this is our card for the month. And before I pull the card, just know that I have already put up on the socials a 3-minute reading for this grandmother, followed by another 3-minute reading, which will go up tomorrow well, it will go up, whatever today is, it'll go tomorrow, about rituals to do for this grandmother. So it's all up there before the 19th. So our card is the 7 of Swords. That came up in a reading, actually, this week. I believe it's for next week's reading. 7 of Swords. So everybody, we have to keep our cards close to our chest. We have to be self-serving. We have to walk carefully. We have to be surreptitious in our movements. We can't take from others what doesn't belong to us, but at the same time, we can't give away to others what doesn't belong to them. It's also the card of somebody who feels inauthentic, like they really aren't who they say they are, or they can't do what they say they do. And there's a term for that that just went out of my head. We're not ever inauthentic. We can't be. Our spirit is within us. So if you don't feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, or you don't feel you can do, or you're not functioning at the level you should, this is the 7 of Swords. Put the swords down, especially the ones you've got pointed at yourself. All right, until next week, be blessed. Watch those little mini videos for ritual advice. Keep your pants on and drink your coffee. Aho.